Hi, I'm Britt.
And my name is Alissa.
And this is SkeleTales.
And this is a podcast where we strive to answer the age-old question of, is my dead grandma watching me?
It is so beautiful outside. It's sunny and wonderful to be outside. Have you ever been hanging outside?
You're in a closet right now. You're not outside. And it's nighttime. What are you talking about?
Follow me here. Follow me. You're outside. You're walking, maybe running, hiking, and out of nowhere, a bug goes in your mouth or nose or maybe ear. Has this happened to you?
Yes. Haven't I talked about the time I sucked on a bug for like a long time because I thought it was a piece of gum? No? And then I was like, wait, I wasn't chewing gum. Have I not talked about that?
I forgot about that. I forgot. Oh my God, that's horrifying.
So that was grandma?
Well, sad news. It was grandma.
Oh,
I'm very
grandma.
sorry.
Well, I feel like I really enjoyed it for quite a while when I didn't realize like it was a very satisfying bonding time.
How did that maybe bugs taste like bubblegum? Did I miss the memo?
No. I was really caught up in a basketball game and just like, I guess I was just sucking on gum. I don't know. It wasn't like chewing a bug for a while. I was just like, it was just in my mouth, maybe tucked in the side. Where you like shove that piece of gum when you're like playing a sport. Yeah. And then I did have that revelation of, wait, I wasn't chewing gum and it was a freaking fly in my mouth. Just grandma.
Sorry, grandma. Hanging out in your mouth. She just wanted to be close to you, really.
Yeah, maybe I was playing the best game ever and it was the power of grandma.
Power of grandma. Taking sports. Yes, to the next level.
Maybe I was like Muhammad Ali. Wait, is he dead? Wait, no, and he's not a basketball player. And I don't think he's dead. I'm not really clear. Like any famous basketball player who's dead. Can we name one?
Oh, Kobe.
Oh, Jesus.
Sorry.
Britt,
Too soon. Hashtag too soon. It's literally Michael Jordan's the only other one. I don't follow sports. Oh yeah, that doesn't work.
Cy Young. I think that's also not basketball. Wilbur. Oh wait, no. I got it.
The pig.
Wilt Chamberlain. I was sucking on the ghost fly of Wilt Chamberlain, and I sucked up his powers. That was all I was trying to get at. I had attained the fly's power, and the fly must have been the reincarnated ghost of a. And this is how
this is how you have become a professional basketball player now.
Yes, exactly.
Solutions. Alissa, do we only talk about sucking on dead flies?
I think maybe we should. We don't.
Changing the podcast.
Now. What'd you suck on this week, Britt?
Oh my God! I'm shutting it down. No, we can't talk. We cannot talk about sucking on stuff. We cannot.
That's our new podcast format. God. Okay. Oh, Lordy.
We also talk about
doppelgangers, cryptids, paranormal, near-death experiences. Go.
Supernatural. If it's strange and spooky and funky, we want to hear it and we want to tell it, and that's what we do.
Heck yeah, we do. Time travel, interdimensional travel, aliens, witches.
Oh, yeah.
Strange
all of
coincidences. Yeah, like we want to hear it all.
We love all of it.
But so this week, Britt, what do you have? What are you bringing to the table?
I have some weird, time loop and also a really weird haunting.
Oh.
Am I telling 2 stories? I guess I might have to now. I've committed.
You have. I have a good little ghost story, and I think I might have a time loop as well. How did we just
Did
do
we
this?
psychic again?
Theme, accidental theme.
Love it.
Cool. Do you want to go first or am I going to go first? I'm going first, right?
You go first.
Okay, I'm going to go first. All right, so my first story is from a fellow named Matt Roberts, and he's an author, but he told me a true ghost story. He writes some spooky books himself, but this is not a story from one of his books. This is
nice.
A story, a real life experience that happened to him, and it's called Little Old Lady. Both my mom and dad have told me this story, and I believe it is because this is the only thing they can both agree on. They divorced in 1988, and I first heard this story many years later. Back in the mid-70s, they got married and moved to Tennessee from Ohio. One New Year's Eve, they stayed with some friends. My mom says she doesn't even think they were drinking or smoking weed, which I find hard to believe considering I know how they were back then. But if she says they weren't, they probably weren't. Both of them were laying on the floor watching TV while their friends sat on the couch. Their young daughter was in bed sleeping. My mom heard shuffling and looked over from the TV at the doorway to the hall and saw a short female making her way towards the bathroom. She was wearing a long, old-fashioned nightgown and a sleeping cap. My mom had asked their friends where they got their daughter that nightgown and cap and said they were cute. They said their daughter didn't have a nightgown or cap, that she had pajamas.
What child in their right mind would wear a nightcap?
I mean, what they say this was in the 70s.
Yes.
No? You didn't wear a nightgown and caps in the 70s?
70s?
Dress them up.
I mean, I wasn't alive, but I don't think so.
Little old ladies? I definitely think that frilly frumpy nightgowns were definitely still a thing in the 70s. The
Nightcaps, though?
Not so much. On a little girl, too? Like, gotta put my hair in a cap? Probably not, but okay. Apparently they were stylish enough to ask. Mom looked at Dad and asked him if he had seen that, and he said he had. They checked the bathroom, and nobody was in it. There was nowhere else for anyone to go. They checked the bedroom, and the daughter was in bed sleeping in her pajamas. Apparently, an old lady used to live in this house. The house sat below the road, which curved right as it got to the house and ran along in front of it. The friends told my parents that a little old lady used to live there, and that one night somebody drove right off the road and crashed through the roof into the living room, landing on the old lady and killing her. It was her who they saw.
That's a freaky way to die, man.
Right? A car from the sky.
He falls into your living room?
Yeah. Oh, that's a terrible way to die. Like, why? And then they're like, why would you buy that house?
Well,
you know, the last occupant had a car land on top of her because of the ill-placed mint.
That's true. It's a risky house purchase for sure.
It is. It's probably real cheap. Probably a good deal.
Could be. I'd do it. Aw, poor lady.
Poor fashionable old lady in her old lady fashionable nightgown.
I have not thought of nightcaps in a very long time. When are we bringing those back? That could be a new fashion statement, right?
I think people still wear them.
Nightcaps?
I think
those white nightcaps, like shower caps?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I think for certain hairstyles and stuff. Why did they wear them in the first place? What's the point?
Is it to keep your hair in place? Maybe so you don't get hair on your pillow? I don't know.
I don't know why would you wear one of those? To keep the mice out?
You know the answer, people? Email us.
Yeah,
let us know about the nightcaps.
Please let us know. I don't get it either. So that story was from, like I said, Matt Roberts, and you can find Matt's books on Amazon. He writes horror books like Hush Little Baby and little horror stories for the soul. And Hand One is Dealt. So thanks, Matt, for the story.
Nice. Yes, thanks, Matt.
Okay, I
have a story. This is from Marissa. She says, I was about 17 years old, and like a lot of teenagers, I was having a difficult time in pretty much every aspect of my life. I was home alone waiting for my boyfriend at the time to come pick me up. I'm paranoid, probably due to all the true crime stuff, I hear that I watch on TV. So I always made sure when I was home by myself that all the doors and windows were locked and secured. This night was no exception. The house was silent, still, and the only one inside of it was me and our yappy little chihuahua, Abby, who was worn out and laying down in the front room asleep last I checked. I was downstairs in our office on the computer on MySpace with all the other scene kids my age chatting and whatnot, and blaring my music as loud as possible when I decided to run upstairs to look for a jacket I believed my sister had taken from me, as little sisters do. I walked into her room, and it wasn't a total mess, but it was a kid's room, so it wasn't perfect. Lots of stuffed animals piled in the corner, clutter, and a few clothing items on the ground, but overall in pretty good shape. I remember seeing these cool special edition Mountain Dew aluminum bottles with detailed artwork on them, so I decided to pick one up and check it out close. I set it down next to the other 3 or 4 that she had on display on her dresser and grabbed my jacket and went back to the computer and was enjoying the loud, heavy music, patiently waiting for my boyfriend. Now, the layout of the house is simple, and I'm going to give you a visual. The room I was in was directly under my sister's room upstairs, and then there were 2 more rooms up there as well. In the downstairs, there was the office, and right outside of it was the kitchen that opened into a dining room and then continued to the front of the house where the living room and entryway were. The base of the stairs were right by the entryway. As I'm sitting there in my zone, I hear a loud banging sound coming from what sounds like the kitchen, and I figured my mom and sister must be home since Abby didn't bark, and I knew the house wasn't locked. I knew the house was locked, so I didn't bat an eye. I continued to hear footsteps and noises that sounded like someone opening doors and just normal people in the house sounds. A few minutes after that, I heard loud stomping going up the stairs and thought to myself, that's got to be my sister, and she sounds pissed. She was known for having outbursts and throwing fits quite often. I assumed I was hearing normal sounds of my household until the stomping got so loud and so intense that it was literally shaking the floor above me. It sounded as if someone was slamming drawers and jumping up and down and just doing anything possible to make as much of a ruckus as they could. I thought, wow, I'm surprised Mom hasn't shot up those stairs already and shut that shit down like she usually does. I just kept going and going. It just kept going and going. So finally I paused my music and called out for my mom, Mom! It got dead silent. The banging and all the noises stopped and no one answered me. Instantly, I got a chill up my spine and felt unsafe. I thought there may be an intruder in the house, but deep down, I knew what it was. I just didn't want to admit it to myself. I stood up and heard the loudest boom of them all right above me. I grabbed my cell phone and ran out of the office. I went straight for the living room where I could see out the large window, and there were no cars in the driveway or in front of the house. Now I knew for sure this wasn't my mom and sister. I felt my stomach turn, my head felt light, and with trembling hands, I picked up Abby, who was at the bottom of the stairs, snarling and shaking, looking up the stairs. Then what sounded like heavy footsteps started coming down the upstairs hallway, closer and closer to the opening of the top of the staircase. And I decided that I did not want to stick around to see whatever was up there to reveal itself to me. So I ran out the door with Abby, who was still shaking in my arms, and sprinted to the end of the street until I was far enough away that I could see the house but was out of danger. I called my mom and my boyfriend, crying hysterically, begging them to come home as soon as possible. and gave them a brief explanation on what happened. Finally, they arrived, and my mom had my uncle with her as well for extra protection. We didn't want to jump straight to calling the police because we all knew what was in the house was most likely not an intruder. We had been experiencing more and more activity in the house the last few weeks, and it just got more and more intense. My uncle and boyfriend first did a sweep of the front and backyard to make sure there were no signs of forced entry. As I expected, there wasn't. They walked inside and called out, "The police are on the way! We're armed! Come out if anyone's in the house!" No one answered or appeared. My mom, uncle, and boyfriend all made their way upstairs slowly, and I followed right on their tail. When we got to the top, we noticed a large stuffed cow that was my sister's peeking around the corner. Now, this stuffed cow isn't a thing of nightmares, I know, but it was out of place, and that's what made it so eerie. That cow was normally stored inside the spare bedroom closet, upstairs across from my sister's room with a bunch of older toys and things that were planning to be donated. How did it get in the hallway, and why? I was just up here, and that cow was not there before. I swear it, I told them. I began shaking even harder. My mom made her way to my sister's room, and as she went to push the door open, she seemed to meet some kind of resistance on the other side of the door. She pushed again, and the door opened. The resistance was from a large stand-up fan that was shoved up against the door in a position that wedged it between the wall and her nightstand. It would have been nearly impossible for me to put the fan in that position, obstruct the door, and also let myself out without moving it. The window was also shut and had the screen still intact. They knew that it wasn't me. When we set our eyes on the rest of the room, it was like everyone was simultaneously in shock. The room looked like it was ransacked. Drawers pulled out, clothes everywhere, bedding ripped off the bed and thrown all over the floor. The small rocking chair she kept in the corner was on the bed, DVDs, CDs all over the bed, pictures and knickknacks knocked over, flipped upside down. It was a scene from a horror film. But of all the bone-chilling things before me, the one thing that terrified me the most was the Mountain Dew bottles. They were each balanced perfectly upside down on the dresser. I had just touched them. They were definitely not upside down when I last saw them. Now, the shape of the bottles was fat on the bottom, and the opening was very small. And since they were aluminum, they were really light. And when we tried to reenact balancing them upside down, it was so difficult to keep them from just falling over. It took a lot of time and effort. Some entity had made sure to let me know that it was here, and it went out of its way to target what I had touched. I felt attacked, singled out, and so unnerved that all I wanted to do was leave the house and never come back. Now that is from Melissa Wright. She has a YouTube station where you can find her, and it's, oh, sorry, I said right. It's Marissa White, Wight. So she, on the YouTube station, she talks about paranormal stuff.
Oh, okay. So, my theory.
Okay.
The cow. Dude, it sounds exactly like a cow was running rampant in that house. Up the stairs, it sounds exactly what a cow would sound like.
My brain did not even go there. And who was waiting for them at the top of the stairs but that freaking cow?
That cow.
Who was stored in the closet. Yep.
And then he busted out. He wanted back in the room. The other theory I had was maybe the fan was like, just before you told me the rest. Well, maybe this fan did go nuts. Maybe that fan just
possessed.
Haywired. Started flying
haywire
around the room like a little. It's really a propeller, right? On a stick.
And
just a
yeah. And then, it's attached to the plug, and it's just flying around the room, opening drawers and
wrecking shit. And it sounds like she was playing her music loud and so she could hear above the music.
Yeah, it was so loud. And I know this feeling too. Like if you have your earbuds in and you maybe are listening to loud music, like I've been jarred before where it's just like you can feel how loud something is that's happening outside.
I got scared that my ice maker scares me on the ride. That ice
your
maker
haunted ice maker. Yep. I'm glad you're a scaredy cat like me. I do shit like that all the time.
Well, and she just said that she is into true crime too, right? So we're all in like this perma flight mode. We got to calm that parasympathetic
extra
nervous
sensitive
system. Some meditation. Should we have a meditation hour in the podcast sometimes? Like,
can you? That would be horrible. We both have terrible attention spans. I think that it would last 30 seconds.
Okay, let's test it.
No, I don't have time for that shit.
Welcome to the SkeleTales Meditation Hour. This is Alissa Williams. And okay, so just bask in this for a moment, okay? Cleanse the scaredies from your palate. All right, and there we have it, folks.
All right. Ooh, good.
Feeling refreshed, focused.
Oh, yeah. Nothing's scaring me now. No murders.
I feel good. I don't even remember what we were talking about. What are we doing?
At the end. No. Fuck that.
Shit. I think I got a ghost story to tell. Something.
Oh, good.
Some dead things. Dead things. That was it. Dead, scary cows.
The visualization of a smallish cow ransacking a bedroom brings me kind of joy.
Yeah, I can't decide if it's like a big, like it somehow got possessed and is a big cow, but I almost like the idea of just like the small fluffy cow just like wrecking shit. Huge footsteps. I love it.
It's pissed that it got moved out of the sister's bedroom. Oh, I don't get to be in the stuffed animal corner anymore. I get put in the closet in the giveaway pile. Well, fuck you. Let me show you some revenge.
Yeah. A bowl in a china shop. Ain't got nothing on me. Cow
solved.
Pissed off cow in a closet. I'll show you. Oh, savage.
All right. What do you got, Alissa? What do you got for us?
This story is from Victor. And he says, "This is a story that haunts me daily. This happened in 1992. I had just graduated high school and was working in a warehouse. I kind of enjoyed it and settled thinking I probably would retire here. Yep."
The end.
My brain just went like haywire. All that meditation we did just went right out the window. That's the second time I read that sentence and I can't not laugh.
No judgment, Victor. Sorry.
All the judgment from Alissa. All the judgment from Alissa. Let's cleanse it out. You get a gong, Victor. You're gonna gong that. He does. The next sentence does say, "Yep, I had zero ambition." All right.
Okay. We're with you.
I was a sad, lazy, cringe-inducing shitbag. All right. A new guy started. It's a warehouse with high turnover, so nothing unusual about new guys. And everyone asked if we were related because we looked alike. He was probably late 30s, early 40s, and I was 18 at the time, and he was fatter. He seemed to carry himself like me the way he walked and spoke. His second day, we worked together on a wrapping station, and the first thing he said to me was, "You still have that Penthouse magazine under your mattress?" I did. Weird, but totally normal for teen boys, I suppose. He then said, "I know everything about you. You are worried about never getting a girlfriend." I was floored, but I again thought it was just a usual teenage thing. I mean, I wasn't the best looking guy, so I guess it wasn't a stretch to guess. The one thing I liked the most about myself is that I have no problems fighting anyone, anywhere, anytime. No matter how big or how many times I was always put down. I never won, but could always take a beating, and the person usually quit and never messed with me again. I asked him why he was saying all this shit, and he looked at me, and his expression is seared into my mind and left an image I see daily. He said, I am you.
Yes. Yes.
He then went on to tell me everything about myself. I mean, my deepest, darkest secrets that no one knows. Then he kept telling me more about myself. Then we went to lunch and were outside smoking. And yep, we smoked the same brands of Camel Wide regulars. Hard to find those where I lived, so I never seen anyone else smoking them. I asked him to be serious and how he knew all this shit. He said, I already told you, Tomahawk. Tomahawk is a nickname only one person called me, and he was my dad's friend that I barely ever saw. A crappy Jetta pulled into the parking lot, and he said, that's our girl. She is a demon who is horrible to us. I asked him why he was with her, and he said, she's the best we could do. When she got out, she was disgusting looking. And she waddled her ass over to us. She said, let's go. Before he left, he stared right into my soul and said, we deserve better. Please go to college and stop being lazy and make something out of yourself. Trailer Park Girl just kind of laughed like, yeah, right. He left with her and I never saw him again. I think I ran into a younger version of her at a friend's house years later, and he introduced me and said we should hook up. I said, no. I went to college and stopped being a pathetic, lazy cringe fest. I accomplished everything I set out to do, as I always felt the need to not let him down. I know none of this makes sense. How can I explain something that I can barely understand myself? None of it makes sense whatsoever. Like, why would a future me get a job with me? He had to fill out a job application and have his references checked, right? Yes, I asked my manager, who was a piece of shit, who just told me to mind my own damn business and focus on my job and try to be less of a screw up. Okay.
Oh my God.
It's haunted me daily since. I'm 48 and have not seen any time travel machines.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it so much.
Basically, how did this happen?
Okay, if things really did pan out like he believes, that truly was his future self warning his younger self to like get his act together, amazing. Love it. If it is similar to an Arrested Development bit that I'm thinking of where the dad hires a guy with no arm and the arm falls off all the time and it's like, that's why you leave a note to get more milk. Was somebody playing a dirty trick on him?
That's actually now what I think too. Like after reading that like his parents were like, oh, hell no, he's talking about retiring into this.
Retiring at this fucking warehouse. Yeah. Okay.
They're like,
get on Craigslist.
Yeah.
We need somebody. And then it took weeks of training because they had to get the gate correctly. And then they had to tell him the secrets about the penthouse under the mattress and all that jazz.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. It was his dad because his buddy Tomahawk. Giveaway.
Oh,
come on.
Giveaway.
Come on.
Giveaway. Okay, but here's my quandary. If fella to this day believes that he saw his future self, why is he not asking him all of the questions? What is our 30s like? How did you get so fat? Tell me what, I would be asking so many questions and he just doesn't even really seem to care.
Well, he says he tells me everything I about me and then more. So I thought that implied that he did tell more. And then he's like, this is our girl.
Oh.
And we couldn't do any better. I feel like that girl, though, was not hired. I think she was just the guy's girlfriend. And he was just an asshole in my theory of things.
I love the idea of a future party he goes to and sees somebody who resembles a younger version. And he's like, oh, hell no.
Yeah, fuck no.
No. Get away from me.
Yeah.
No.
Because that would mean they both time travel, the girlfriend and the future self, right?
Oh my God, you're right. Yes. And I love how he's like, I'm 48 now. No time machines that I've found.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's my time travel story, which I think might just be a prank from...
Fucking love it. I love it.
Love it.
Delighted every minute.
And now I'm inspired. I will file this away.
No shit. For
parenting tips.
How many years? 8 years when Odin gets that really shitty job and he's like, Mom, I think that this like fish gutting job is like the one for me. I'm going to retire and,
Oh, he has mentioned several times how he aspires to work at McDonald's, and I think I'll be playing this card pretty soon. So if anyone knows any actors,
curly red haired,
yes, I should start my casting call. We'll be going out shortly.
He has so many food allergies. Why the fuck would he want to work in a fast food restaurant?
Britt,
okay, that's beside the point.
You're the one. Follow your dreams. I was like, Odin, give up.
You're right. You're right.
See?
We did have this discussion already. Shit. Okay, I have a story. This happened right around the end of spring. I woke up after being asleep for about 2 hours. My dog was acting like she had to go potty. I looked at my phone to see the time, and it was around 1 a.m. I let her out in the front yard on her leash. Then I heard a sound coming from the side of the house. It sounded like a cat crying. I came inside and went through the house out to the side door to check. I have an elderly cat that refuses to come in. That's like my cat, Penny. And it had been raining on and off, and it was a bit chilly. I was going to try to coax him into coming into the breezeway. I clearly remember stepping out onto the walk and my socks getting completely soaked from the rain that had left the doormat wet. It's an awesome feeling to have your feet soaking wet at 1 a.m. after being asleep for 2 hours. As if things weren't already eerie, I was now definitely awake. Now remember the dog? Okay, well, she all of the sudden runs off towards the woods besides my house and poof, I don't see her. Well, now I get worried because she's on her leash. But she seemed to just vanish. So I come back inside and rush back through the house to the front and open my front door again. And there she is, sitting on the porch like nothing happened. I then bring her back inside and realize that my damn socks are completely dry. Like there was no way that was possible. I looked at my phone again to see the time, and it was 12:45. That's 15 minutes before I woke up and went outside. Socks were dry, time went back, and the dog was back on the porch. I don't know what happened that night, but I know I was not dreaming. I know I let her out. I know I stepped in water and soaked my socks. And I know I saw the time say 1 a.m. I cannot explain what happened.
A glitch in the Matrix.
Glitch? For sure. But just by like 15 minutes too, just a little bloop.
I would almost consider the fact that she was asleep, right? And was dreaming and fake woke up. And like, I've actually had one of those dreams for the first time ever where I woke up repeatedly in a dream. Like, I always want to say Deliverance.
Oh.
What was that movie about the dreams? Not
Groundhog Day.
No, Deception? Is that it?
Oh, Inception?
Inception. There we go. Like Inception, the dream within the dream. But the dog was inside, right? Like the dog, what woke her up was the dog wanting to go outside, correct?
Yeah, the dog's like, I gotta pee. Let me outside.
Okay, so the dog was outside. All right, like the dog was outside though. If it was just a dream, the dog would still be inside when she woke up and had dry socks. The dog was on the outside.
No, she was awake.
I love this.
So wild.
Okay, I have a theory.
Okay.
I think maybe her dad hired a dog actor to come and show her, I don't know, how she needs to take care of her socks better or something.
Don't sleep in your fucking socks. What monster are you? Who sleeps in their socks?
I don't know. That's crazy. I love that. See, that was the time story I was hoping for. I want more of those kinds.
I think why I love this story is it feels so accurate for me. Like, I have had that before where it's like the animal needs to go out in the middle of the night and you're like half asleep and then something happens. You spill water, you step in water, and then you're just like, now I'm awake. Now it's going to be hard for me to go back to sleep. And then all of a sudden for it to just be like, boom, 15 minutes before you actually even woke up.
Reset. Maybe she had a magic wish. Maybe she tripped over a genie bottle and was like, I wish my socks weren't wet. All of a sudden, your wish is back in there.
And then the genie's like, really, bitch? That's what you wish for? You could have $1 million.
Just dry socks.
That's the dream. I actually thought of you for that one because I know you like your time stories.
I love my time stories, but no one ever sends them, although 2 in a week. Weird.
I know. Here we are.
A time traveler came and planted those stories.
Alissa.
Britt.
Do you have some, I
don't know. I don't know what you're getting at.
I have a hot brag. Can I just jump into my hot brag real quick?
Fine.
I know you love these hot brags. I found out recently that we, SkeleTales, are number 13th on the charts in comedy. Did you know
what?
This?
Where?
In Hungary.
Is that true?
Solid truth. I researched it. I thought surely not. And it is fucking true. And we're like 110, I think, in all the podcasts of Hungary.
What?
I just wanted to give a shout out to all of our Hungarian listeners out there. We most definitely know where you guys are on a map, for sure. And we love you.
I'm gobsmacked. I am speechless. I can't believe this is the honest to God truth. You were speaking.
It's the honest to God.
We're number 13 in comedy in Hungary. Hey, all our Hungarian listeners, I am of Hungarian descent.
I didn't know that.
On my mom's side.
Hell yeah, they sensed it.
My brain is scrambled, Britt.
I know, because you don't take compliments well, and here we are making charts.
I got just the thing.
And it's pretty awesome. Huh? Yes.
Cleanse that palate. Okay, now I can respond. That is very flattering, very encouraging, and very unexpected. Did you look up how to say thank you in Hungarian?
Köszönöm.
Köszönöm.
Hungary.
Köszönöm. Okay, well, wow. Hot brag. Heck yeah. I had a hot brag I was going to just send to you. Maybe I should read it.
Yes, you have one?
I have one.
You never hot brag. I'm ready.
I got an email from a Steven, and he says, I make the daunting drive through West Texas 3 to 4 times a year. The drive has become much easier since being introduced to your podcast. Keep telling them spooky stories.
Oh my God, Alissa! I would have never known. Thank you for sharing that with me.
So thank you, Steven. And hey, fans, listeners, you're spreading the word. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I mean, you guys have gotten us to number 13, for God's sakes, on the Hungarian comedy charts.
Seriously.
Steven is driving across West Texas, enjoying our podcast now. You guys are the best. It's great. It's so fun. So yes, if you have stories, please send them in. You can email them to us at skeletalespodcast@gmail.com. You can also call us on our hotline.
Our hotline is 302-689-DEAD, 302-689-3323. It's just a voicemail, so you just have to tell your story and then hang up. And we will not badger you, I promise. We have a merch shop. You can find that on our website, skeletalespodcast.com or on our link tree at our socials. And rate, review. I think that's it. Is there anything else?
I don't think so. Oh,
Alissa!
Yeah, Britt. Hey, what's up?
Haunt y'all later.
Hunt y'all later. Good
Good night.